Inflation is always a hot topic, and let's be real, it affects every single one of us. That's why I'm launching this Inflation Insights series. We are going to break down how inflation messes with our money, who's actually benefiting from it, and even why it can sometimes be a good thing for the economy. If you are just curious, and I know you are, hit that subscribe button and you don't miss a thing. Hey, one-click economist. It's Matt Gül here, and today we are diving into a topic that always buzzing. Inflation. Yes, that's fancy word that basically means prices are going up over time. But why does this happen in the first place? And what does it mean for our wallets? Stick around because we are breaking it all down. First things first, why does inflation happen? Well, there are a few reasons behind this. Reason number one, sometimes everyone wants to buy the same product, but there just isn't enough to go around with that stuff. So what happens? Prices go up. This is called demand pull inflation. Imagine everyone rushing to buy the last PS5. Yeah, prices are gonna spike. Reason number two, if it costs more to make stuff, like when materials or weights go up, businesses have to raise their prices too. This one called as cost push inflation. It's like when your favorite coffee shop just hikes up prices because their coffee beans are costing even more than before. Not cool for your morning latte budget, isn't it? And lastly, if people think prices are going to keep rising, they might ask for higher pay. But all of these higher wages can make prices go up even more than before. It's like a cycle that just keeps spinning. So how does inflation affect us? When prices rise, saving money doesn't feel as rewarding because what you can buy with those savings just goes down. If your income isn't keeping up with prices in the market, you might find that your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as just it used to. It's kind of something like trying to run up an escalator that's going down. Lots of effort, but not too much progress. On the flip side, if people expect a little inflation, they might decide to spend more now instead of later. And you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing. More spending can boost the economy, help businesses thrive, and even create some jobs. It's like a mini economic boost in disguise. Now, what about businesses? For businesses, inflation can be a bit of tightrope wall. They have got higher costs to deal with. Think, let's call it materials, weights, all that stuff. So they might have to change more. But there's the catch. If they raise prices too much, they could lose customers. So it's a little bit balancing act and nobody wants to fall off. And on a bigger scale, what does inflation mean for the economy? When inflation gets in higher rates, central banks might step in and raise interest rates to cool things down. This makes borrowing money more expensive than before, which can affect spending and investing for all of these customers and investors. A little inflation is normal. That can even signal that the economy is growing. But if it gets out of hand, it can put the brakes on economic growth. I can almost hear that you ask the question, the main one, what about our wages and jobs? Wages can go up during inflation too, but there's the thing, if prices keep climbing, it can feel like you are just treading the water. You are earning more, but everything else costs more too, so you are not really getting ahead. And this uncertainty can make companies cautious about hiring new employees. So what's the government doing about all of this? Governments and central banks have tools to manage inflation. Central banks might raise interest rates, and governments can adjust some new policies like applying some new taxes and spending to help keep inflation in check. We have seen some wild cases in history where inflation went through the roof, like in Zimbabwe or Germany after the First World War. But usually central banks keep things under control. So in a nutshell, inflation impacts how we spend, save, and invest. It touches everything from what you can buy to how businesses run and how the economy grows. Understanding how inflation works is key because it affects all of us. So what do you think about inflation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you are curious about when inflation can actually be good for the economy, make sure that hit that subscribe button, because that's what our next video in Inflation Insight series is all about. Until next time, let's enjoy this inflation ride all together.